Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is a bit of a different start to video today, isn't it? So we're out and about. We have come up to our local Garden of Remembrance, where we are really lucky that we get provided in our village with this massive Christmas tree here, which is full of lights. It looks beautiful at night. I should come up and show you it at night as well. And then over here we've got this little memorial Christmas tree that the parish council give us every year for us to put our memorials on to our loved ones, to people that we've lost over the years, and it's such a lovely addition to our village. In today's video I'm going to be making some memorial baubles to go on this tree, so I just thought I'd come and show it to you, and then I will come and put them onto the tree as well. This is the design that I'm going to be using in today's video, and this is a really sweet memorial design that I bought actually a couple of years ago from designbundles.net. It's actually on sale at the moment, half off, so it's a pretty good deal as well. I think I paid £2 for it a couple of years ago, but it's £1.51 now. You get it in all these different formats, as you always do with designbundles.net. So all you'll need to do is just add it to your cart, and then you can download it and then upload it into Cricut Design Space. So I've already done the uploading, and here it is. If you need to know how to upload that, I have got a video to show you how to do that, which I will link above now for you, and also down below in the description. So this is pretty big at the moment. We need to make it a bit smaller. Let's zoom ourselves out a little bit so we can see the whole design, and it is coming out at 23 centimeters by 28 centimeters, so it is far too big for our little ornament that we're going to put onto the tree. So let's just make it smaller using this drag handle on the side, and it's going to be really fiddly and really hard to weed, so I think we might have to use reverse weeding on this. I think the biggest that we could go really is about 5.5 centimeters across. So we need to probably just stretch it out a little bit. Let's zoom back in a touch. Okay, so I'm just going to unlock this padlock here, and that allows me to just move this however I want it. So let's try and make it. Okay, it's going to be really small and it's going to be difficult to weed, but I reckon I can do it. So let's get that attached together so that it is all one layer. Now I'm just going to go up to make it, and I'm going to cut it out on the machine, and then I'll come back to you when I'm ready to weed. Alright, so it's finished cutting, and as you can see, a couple of bits have lifted on it here. So what I'm going to do is just get one of my squeegees, and I'm just going to press those back down as best as I can, and then I'm just going to use my pin pen just to pop them back into the spot where they're meant to be. Okay, it does appear to have cut okay. Obviously this is such an intricate design that it you know, it's a bit hit and miss really whether it's going to work, so I'm going to give it a good burnish down again just to try and get the actual design to stick to the backing paper. Then I'm just going to grab my craft knife and I'm going to cut away the excess. I'm going to leave it on the mat to do the weeding though, and I'm going to reverse weed this but I'm going to do it a little bit differently to how you would normally see people do it. So I'm going to grab some transfer tape. I'm just going to use the cheap contact paper tape. I'm just going to cut myself a little piece. So I've got a tiny piece of this. There is my design on there, and I've got this little piece of transfer tape. I'm going to weed on the mat, as I said, and this is a little bit different to what you would normally do. So I'm just going to pop that down on there, press it down with my fingers to start with, and then I'm going to give it a really good burnish with the squeegee, especially where the little birds are in the top and where the hearts are at the bottom. I want to make sure that I get those. Alright, now I'm going to take it off of the mat. So just flip it over and just peel back the mat. I've left a bit of paper there, that doesn't matter, I'll clean that later. Alright, so here is our design on here. Now that it's off the mat, I'm just going to give it a good burnish on the other side. Really putting some pressure on here to make sure it's going to stick well. And then what I'm going to do, peel back my backing paper. So now my design is on there and you can see it. What I will do next, and this is a little bit controversial, is peel back my design. So peeling back the excess. If you've got a flat surface, you would be able to put this onto your whatever it is you're decorating and do this on your actual design. And I've done that previously in another video, and this was what I did with that method. Because of all these sweeping thin parts and the lettering, and I did it that way. And if you want to see that video, I'll link that for you above in a card and down below. This can be a bit of a slow process. We're just going to peel it back really carefully, and we're just going to try not to touch the design all that much. And if there's any bits that haven't stuck, you can just press them down with your fingers, but just peel it back and just keep going. I'm going to speed this up now so that it doesn't take as long as it does in real life, because it could take a while. And then once it's done, we can apply it onto the memorial bauble. I've just got one more little bit to do, and I'm not going to lie, this took forever. It took a long time to reverse weed this design. It's so small. If you look at it the right way around, it's so intricate. You can see how I have literally stabbed the transfer tape to get it off, but at the moment it looks good. The only bit I've got to do here is this little S, and I'm saved that to show you how to do it. So I'm using this pin pen because it is the only option for this sort of design. There's no way you are going to get the weeding out using one of these. It's just too chunky on the end, it's too thick, you've got no control like you have with one of these. I'm going to just do this last tiny bit, and all I'm doing is just holding the transfer tape with one hand and then literally lifting it up and stabbing the little bit of vinyl into there, and then I'm just putting it on there to get rid of it. As I said before, if you are doing it on a flat surface, you could put this onto it and then you could weed out the little insides of your letters whilst it's actually on your item, and I did that with the hard drive that I did previously. So what I'm going to do now is just put some tiny little cuts into this transfer tape, and the reason why I'm doing that is just to make it a little bit more pliable and easy to manipulate when I'm popping it onto the curved surface of the ornament. So I've got little bits of black vinyl stuck on my fingers. Whilst this was an absolute nightmare to weed, because it's for a memorial ornament, I don't mind too much because obviously it's a bit special. Alright, so let's get the ornament and pop it on. Okay. Just to let you know, I've already wiped this with one of my alcohol wipes and just left it to dry. I didn't show you that. Probably should have showed you that. Okay, I'm just going to try and line it up straight as much as I can. Still going to be able to move it round anyway. And all I'm going to do is pop it down on the one side, and I'm literally going to do it like I do when I do a balloon, straight down the centre, and then I'm going to go out to the one side first. All the way over to the right hand side, and you may need to pull it to get a good adhesion to your ornament. Just give it a good press down. Don't be afraid to wrinkle your transfer tape as well. You can see I've got a little wrinkle here, but I've already stuck the vinyl down, so hopefully it should be okay. Now I'm just going to go out the other way as well. I'm just pulling it, and I've literally folded it over that little cut that I made there. If now, like for instance now, I feel as though if I keep pressing that, my W and my birds are going to be all distorted. So what I'm going to do is press down on this bottom half, and then I'm going to remove the transfer tape so that it allows me more control over this top left hand corner of the design. So let's just press that down. I'm just going to peel back here. You need to make sure it's pressed down really well, and if you need to use one of your squeegees or a scraper tool or anything like that, use it now. And if you find that it still isn't sticking, apply a bit of heat, so your hairdryer will do, or if you've got a heat tool, very very lightly you could go over it with that as well. I am ripping my transfer tape right now, but I'm doing it on purpose because I don't want it to be in the way. Again, this is probably going to take a while to do because it's such an intricate design, and those letters really do not want to go on here. So I'm going to speed this up again, and I'll keep going. When I come back to this corner, I'll come back to you. Okay, so that is all on and it looks really good. So now I've got this piece of transfer tape that I can cut right off there, and then I've got this now that I can literally rearrange how I want it to be, because I've got no other bits of transfer tape in my way or, you know, getting in the way of what I want to do. So the main thing for me to do is to get my lettering straight, and then I think this feather is actually in the wrong spot, but that doesn't matter too much because as long as I've got my wings in the right bit here, I'm going to be able to then just lift that up almost and put it in the right spot. So what I'll do again is I'm going to get rid of my transfer tape from this section, and I might even pull it off altogether once I've got the wording down, and then I've got all my birds. Right, so there we go. So now I've got all my birds and my feathers, and I know this is a really long-winded way of doing it, but you want it to be perfect and you don't want any wrinkles in any of your lettering. Can you see how perfect it looks for taking the time over it? I could have really easily just like whacked it on there and not worried about how it looks, but it's for my grandma and I want it to look good, so I'm going to pop that just there. I'm going to pop that down, and then I'm going to just press that bit in. So oh, there's two birds there that are still stuck to the transfer tape. There we go. This is what I've put on the other side of it here, and this font is called BFC Christmas Cards. It's a Cricut Design Space, Cricut Access font, but it's lovely for Christmas. It reads nicely as well. So for this one I'm going to use this ornament, and I'm just going to take the end out and pop some white feathers inside of it. Oopsie. I've just got these little white feathers here, and I'm just going to pop them all in. And then I'm going to make another little design to go on the front here. So this is what I've done with the feather one. I've just popped this little remembering you on the one side. There was a lot more to this design, but it just wouldn't cut. It was too thin and it was too small of a design to go on here. So I just picked out the remembering you part because I thought it was quite sweet. And then on the other side I've just put Nanny Eileen and Grandad Sid, and I've just got this little and to go on here now. I'm not going to use any transfer tape for this. I'm just going to pick it up with my tweezers and just pop it on here if I can get it. Just get it the right way around. I'm just going to pop that on there and give it a good smooth down, and then both of these now are ready to go up to our memorial tree. So here are the two that we have made, and this one here, and they look lovely on the tree, and they're a really nice addition to the tree. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd love to see you again for the next one, so don't forget to subscribe. Drop me any questions or comments you might have down below, and I will see you soon. Take care, bye.